If you got about another minute, mutas would have been out. 3-base production with additional larva. Everything would have been just golden for him, but Suppy, jumped the gun and got rewarded for it. So we're here on King Sejong Station down here at the bottom right side of the map in red, representing evil geniuses. We have Suppy. Conan the man himself, Conan the Zerg Barbarian, just raiding his opponents and Zerg brethrens. We got a little bit of North America on North America crime right here, man, happening actually. It might have a little bit different feelings to it if it was like America versus a Canadian player. I don't know. I feel bad though too, like when it's like Canada versus Canada, because like my three of my favorite players like from the North American scene in general are Zergs. Suppy, Hendralisk, Scarlet, and like I always like really wish hard that they don't face each other until they actually have to. And when you start trickling it down, like ViBE is basically right there with them. A lot of those we have a lot of great Zerg players in the North American scene, and it's really sad when they face each other. But over here at the top left side of the map in the blue, we got ViBE. Seeing if he can maybe round out this series, get it all squared up, and again, person that wins this series does, I think, move into the round of it's not the semis, is it? It'll be the round of 8. Double check. It will be the semifinals, so okay, it will be. I'm sorry, I'm starting to get confused with the bracket at times. I do apologize, but overall, doing a pretty good job right there last game, and this will be big step for him to get into the semifinals. You're one step away. I'll actually take a look at the bracket and get a little bit of an update, see how they feel about it. ViBE versus Suppy, the semifinals. Patreus versus Caliber is actually already done. Patreus is facing EGK, so the winner of EGK will and Patreus is going to face the winner of this series. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the bracket, there's Hendralisk and Desro and Fenner and Scarlet playing right now, and I know Fenner and Scarlet are on the mainstream from what I heard and from chat, of course. So if you guys want to go there and check it out as well, pop open another stream. If you guys probably already have the mainstream popped up and you guys have mine as the extra one. So, yeah, just kind of keep tabs on everything that's going on. A lot of great action, a lot of great Zergs that are moving across this tournament. So, hopefully we're going to be seeing one of the familiar faces down at the Battlegrounds in Detroit. And including that, like, that's actually so... It's awesome and like scary all at the same time, because like Detroit's not one of those cities that you consider like an esports hub, at least in my opinion, from the past couple of years. You would think more coast, you think like the New Yorks, the California, Washington, Florida even more so. And now they're going to Detroit. And Detroit's history. It's not exactly, Detroit's not in the best type of shape. It's like almost like hosting an event in Cleveland, almost in a sense. So it'll be interesting to see how well it runs. Hopefully we'll have some of the Midwest players come out there as well. I know Chicago's actually a pretty good hub for esports in itself, but when I come to think of it, Detroit and Michigan haven't always kind of really just one of those resonating names when you talk about growing areas in terms of esports. So but good on Red Bull to try it out and see how it goes. They did Atlanta and it worked out wonderful. I enjoyed the event. I'm still waiting for the damn Colorado stop right now. I'm waiting for one of the whether it's Red Bull or MLG. I'm waiting for one of them to actually like jump on the Colorado opportunity. We have like some growing like areas, land centers and whatnot. We're right up into the mountains. I'm assuming MLG might consider grabbing it because of the X Games partnership. Like I'm like crossing my fingers. I'm like like X Games has one like in Aspen and whatnot. You guys could like come here. I'm like host an event in Colorado. Damn it! I'm like at the same time, you know what? Hey, you know what? Do another event in California. I'm down for California. That's like my escape from the state, is like keep going to these esports events like MLGs and BlizzCons and whatnot that keep happening out in California. So, Suppy pushing out some of the lings that are scouting over here. Both players now comfortably sitting on 2-base, but ViBE this time, instead of going for the quick 3 hatch, he went for quicker lair, and he's already got his Spire underway. Now, due to Suppy in his position, are we going to see another huge flood of lings? He's got lair tech coming up, and I feel like he's going to have a lot of resources, but he might have too many hanging around. If ViBE is going to be rushing into those mutas, ViBE is going to be able to get over a lot quicker. He's going to be able to start getting damage done and gather that muta count a lot sooner. So while he's doing that, I assume he's going to take his 3rd hatch off of the attack and Could do a lot of damage. Like I said, he could punish Suppy right now. Suppy just finishing up his lair as the Spire is finishing up for ViBE, so great opportunity in front of him. Suppy beginning to make a few lings. 12 lings looks like once again he might go on that aggression. And the funny thing here is, even though it's not a third base place down, he could actually get a lot of damage done. He could send them across the map, and they're going to be able to start attacking queens and get within this natural and this main base. So speed just about done for ViBE. He's got his first 6 mutas in production right now. This is going to be a very close-knit timing for ViBE in terms of opportunity. Spire about halfway done for Suppy right now. We have the Baling Nest underway as well. Third base getting grabbed by ViBE. Overseer checking out what's going on within the main base, spots that Spire, and Suppy's got to be like, oh crap. You know, to Suppy right now, it might be just worth it to put down some spores. Yeah, and indeed he's doing it right now. Putting down a spore crawler here, putting down a spore crawler in the back of his main as well. The lings are getting drawn back home, and this will keep the mutas on this side of the map for a little bit longer, so this is working a little bit into Suppy's favor. And also, if he's actually able to somehow force a cancel on this third hatch, that would be huge, because his third hatch is finished up. He's grabbing his 5th and 6th gas, and that's one of those things when you got muta versus muta battles. If you could get a little bit of a slight gas advantage, resources in terms of minerals are never really the true issue. And with that additional larva, he might be able to actually outproduce his opponent. Now, no Banelings are formed of that I know specifically, but there is a huge flood of lings coming over here to the third base. He might end up just losing this, and he actually just, forms Banelings up on the high ground of the National, pulls back the Spine Crawler. We'll sacrifice this hatch and these gases. It's a little unfortunate, but really it's kind of one of those what can you do scenarios. You got to give it up. You got to give it up. If you try to fight out of it, you're going to lose your lings, and you're going to leave mutas trying to clear out speedlings throughout your main and natural base most likely. Alright, so Suppy going to retake his third base, only natural reaction there at that point. Both players getting their +1 Flyers upgrades in terms of Carapace, and that's smart, and I think all Zergs realize that. Once in a while you see a Zerg get a little greedy and go for +1 attack, but in terms of withstanding a lot of damage, that +1 Flyer Carapace does so much more for you, especially when you do that numbers game, when you start counting specific mutas. Your mutas, the fact that they're going to be able to withstand that much longer is just such a big deal, because it's better to have 2 mutas alive than 1 muta hitting just a little bit harder. So Suppy's mutas do spot some lings running by over here to the watchtower, clear them out. Going to be heading back home right now, or should be heading back home. No! Does 1 muta go down? No! All mutas stay alive for Suppy for the moment. He's starting to gain more and more and more and more. Now his third base is just about up as well. That flood of lings that we saw earlier from ViBE going to be coming back down over here to the third base. And we'll see what they can do over here. Kind of poking and prodding over here at the gas. Queens will transfuse, keep that good old extractor alive. Muta's managing to get the most out of their ability. Oh, good. Well, I can't even tell if that was a good detonation under those mutas. It looks like just enough to even up the numbers on the ground, but with the help of the queens, the mutas do push back ViBE for the time being, though another set of lings here getting prepared to go for the onslaught and attack. I don't know if Suppy's actually ready for this. He does have the mutas, but man, that is a lot of lings to have around right now. Just takes down the extractor, gonna back out. I actually might have encouraged ViBE to continue attacking. The only thing that might have been a little bit tougher is just dealing with the queens, but the queens now are getting caught out of place. Transfuses are forced on the queens to go down. Now it's ling versus ling on the ground. The muta numbers, let's take a look and see what the muta numbers are looking like. It's 20 versus 18 in favor of ViBE, so unless those mutas... Okay, it looks like the mutas were catching up. So for the time being, Suppy did have a momentary lead, but with these additional mutas catching up, ViBE gains that lead. Both players getting that +2 Flower Carapace, sitting at that 1-1. Or both sitting players at just 1. ViBE attacking, good micro right there with the lings under the mutas as well. It makes it really hard for Suppy right now to micro through this because the glaives are bouncing off some of the lings as well. And now we're going to get a little bit of a taste to see how the muta numbers work out, and now the more mutas are starting to work their way, breaking through Suppy's defenses, and also on the ground end of things, we have the lings breaking through the Suppy lings, and they cleared out this entire third base. Drones, Suppy drops in supply, calls the GG, realizes that at this point the only thing that would happen for ViBE would, if he managed to hold off, is just snowball into his control. So